Hello, and we're live again with my live Snappy Chat. This is all about learning and growing together. I'm Christine Bell, but this is not about me. This is about us all, small businesses, big businesses. It's about people in business learning and growing together. And being in your own business can get quite lonely sometimes, but it also comes with a lot of advantages that we'll talk about shortly. So, Jackie, I'm so pleased to have you back on here. I appreciate you to the moon and back. I actually met you, I think, on LinkedIn like 2 or 3 years ago, and we just became friends over this time. And you're amazing at what you do. You are such an inspiring soul with so much knowledge around health and spirituality and healing, etc. So I'd love to hear more about you. So please tell us a bit more about you. We got Royce here. Bless you, Royce. You're always here. And if you don't know Royce Blake, he's amazing. He's not only a marketing strategist, he's also used to be a big radio host in America, and he can teach you how to ask the right questions, how to interview people right. So he can probably teach me right now because I'm just winging it right now. So thank you for being here, Royce. Jackie, tell us a little bit more about yourself, please.
Oh, I did want to actually say, I think Royce is here in the Phoenix area. So
hi, yes. Royce.
Yes. And by the way, I just recently subscribed to his email newsletter, and it's great. I love it. Yes. It's so fun. It's really unusual, and you just want to dive right in it every single time. It's great. So
I know he's an amazing copywriter, and he's got so much information and insights to teach us all. So thank you for that. We've got Philip here as well from Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you for being here.
Wonderful.
Well, so Jackie, back to you. Tell us about you.
So, I go by different. I have all the hats, especially right now. But at one point, I came up with a visual sound healer as a definitive title for myself. Really, what I do is I'm a coach. I'm a healing coach, and I help with nutrition, mindset, and movement. And I work one-on-one with people. And I actually am thinking of putting together a group program so that it's even more available to more people. And I think a group setting is always a great place to learn. So that's actually new. I haven't put that to quite 100% together, but I'm excited to do something like that, especially with, as you know, I mean, specifically, you helped me with my launch of my book, which was last week. And actually, the price is going to be going up again because the Prime deals are now over for Amazon Prime. But that book really helped me to put together my artwork. I am an artist. I have been since I was 3 years old. That's a long time ago. And art for me is just my natural way of living, eating, and breathing. I could never do without it. Certainly nutrition, same kind of thing. The more quality food we put in ourselves, the quality of our lives improves and increases. And if we keep moving, so with movement, I cannot also live without some kind of fitness, even if it's just walking around. Like right now where we are, it's right now it's 106 at 5 p.m. So I think that's in the 40s in Celsius, if anyone's in the Celsius world. But yes, it's really hot. Careful. We have to be very careful right now. So I'm really excited right now. And by the way, yes, I'm so honored and thank you for inviting me again on your awesome show and your very consistent posting and having amazing people on this platform, because such great ideas and such amazing people with great ideas to help our businesses and even, of course, our personal lives as well.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes I think, well, maybe, some people just have the big people, like the big names on there, and I'm sure that would draw people in. But hello, Dominic. I really want to just get, I don't know what to call it, everyday people like you and me and Royce and everyone else who are doing business every day, founders, startups, small business owners, because we all go through this experience, and it's so interesting because yes, there's a lot of things that we will talk about around having structure and doing the right marketing and all that. But mindset comes and health comes so much into it as well, because it's a lonely world and there's a lot of challenges building a business. And this is what I wanted to both give people a space to be seen, but also to actually give advice, because we learn from experience, right? And as I meet people who call me and say, I want to work with you, I'm like, well, you haven't even started. Are you ready to take, do you have what it takes? Because you quitting a business in 2 months' time, that's not, you're not going to be successful, unlikely, in 2 months' time, unless you already got your clients and you know what you're doing. So it's going to be a long haul, and it's not going to be easy, and mindset is going to be everything. And it's like, are you ready for it? And this is why I'm doing these calls anyway, because I think we can all learn from each other, right? And just want to say hello to Janice is here. Good to see you. We got Annie here as well. Wonderful. And she says, congrats on your new book, or he says, sorry, apologies. Annie, congrats on your new book, Jackie. Where can we find the link? So where is the link? Can we put that in? We've got to put that in at some point. Otherwise, we'll put it in the comments afterwards, right? So people can look at your books. And it's beautiful. And your drawings are amazing. And you actually gave me one a couple of months ago, and I was in Denmark, and I colored it all in, and I love it.
I loved your painting, your drawing after all was said and done. It was so beautiful. And I do invite everyone to join my Facebook group. It's called Visual Sound Healer or Healing. And that's where I'm asking people to post their drawings in either from the book, which of course is here, and it has 33. So there are 33 crazy Earth Mama drawings, but I'm inviting you all to join us. There's no charge, of course. Facebook, you don't do that anyway, but it's a space to share your artwork. But yes, wonderful. It's on Amazon, and it's not very searchable because it's new, and I will be happy to find the link for you all.
And put it in there. Go in and put it in the post as well, so we can find it.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'll wait one more day to because I had the price set at half off, and I'll just leave it for one more day, certainly. And and if you mentioned, by the way, for anyone on this call, send me a direct message, and I will send you the ebook. If you purchase the one on Amazon, I'd be happy to just send you the ebook, and then you can print the pages multiple times so that you can draw it 10 different ways.
I love that. So I love that you got your hands on so many things, because, most of us have many different talents, and I love how you put all your talents together in your offer and being a healing coach. So tell me though, because building a business is not easy, right? Where have you found a challenge? Because we all have plenty of challenges.
Well, one of the challenges that came up for me this year was taxes, and the way that I define myself to the government, and how they structure taxes based on what you call yourself. And here in the United States, a sole proprietor is one of the most expensive ways to be a freelancer. And I discovered after 2 years of filing, let's just say that after my last appointment with my CPA, I knew that something had to be done and changed. And so I started asking questions, and I discovered that the other structures of businesses here in the United States, the way they call them, what you're allowed to do with certain structures, what you're covered, how you're protected, that kind of thing, is ideal for if you're doing 100% freelance and you're doing a certain way. Then for me, I had to make a choice. Well, what is going to protect me? What is going to make it so that I'm very viable when, in the government's eyes? What is going to make it also easier? What I did was I changed the structure so that I could hire people, and I could actually bring people on board much easier than before. I was just, doing freelance.
Yeah.
And it would have had to be a partnership. There's all kinds of different things. And by the way, I don't love that stuff. I'm an artist. I am a larger picture type of personality.
You're not the accountant, yeah, right? I totally hear you. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Cash flow is always a challenge in business, no matter how big or successful you are at getting clients. So true. Cash flow is the big issue in building a business at any time. And Roy says you're the giver of peace, so bless you. Yes, totally hear it. But there's something more that goes on with structure. So I get the actual the practical parts of it and the physical benefits of changing structure, even though it's not easy. And I'm so glad you found out how to do that and what's going to work better for you. But just before we came on the show, we also had this conversation and started going a little bit more deeper into something I can really relate to as well, and maybe others as well, which is this thing around being an employee, or freelancing, and then also still at the same time have ability to build a business on the side. Because many of us, when we first start out, may not have access to the right clients who are just going to start buying from us immediately, unless we already did that in our past lives. So we have them all set up, ready to go. And I do know businesses like that. I was a little bit like that when I first started out 10 years ago, but then things changed with the lockdowns here. And I had to find a new offer. Well, it was same offer, but for different types of people. And that meant I didn't actually know many of these people. And I had to kind of start from scratch, in terms of bringing people in. And that's all well and good and a challenge, and I love it. But there's something around the mindset around breaking free from being an employee, even though there's so many benefits to being an employee. And I'm not saying if you want to start your business, you should just quit your job immediately. Not always a good idea. But tell me a little bit more about this challenge and how it made you feel as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a great question. So what happened with me was I was laid off during the lockdowns in my full-time position, and I was having such a hard time finding work in my field at all. There was just simply, who wanted
a graphic designer at the time?
Yes, who wanted to pay a graphic designer in marketing when you know it all. You all know how it looked. And so I found, within 6 months, I found something else to do in the meantime. Thank God. I was like, thank you, God, for the ideas of how to survive. We all find our ways. And
yes,
it's all, and I love, and the concept of, all work is honorable. All work is important. All work is necessary for our economy to flourish and function. And so I found something that made me useful. So I did. So then at that point, after a while, after about a year and a half, the old company asked me to come back freelance part-time, 5 hours a week. And then it got to a point where they offered, and they might even see this video. That's great. I don't mind, and happy to have them see my chatting about it. But, the offer was there to go back full-time as employee. And it was interesting, like the huge benefit of the lockdown scenario in my case was it showed me what I could do and what it looked like in the past, and what I could do now that I've been literally kicked off the cliff, with no wings. But I found some wings along the way, and I had to decide, well, I'm already off the cliff. So why don't I see how I can make this work? And so, yes, I still work.
So you kind of found freedom in a not so easy scenario. And I think many of us can relate to what happened in the last 5 years, or even in life. It happens to all of us potentially at some point, where suddenly find ourselves in a new situation. We hadn't quite expected it, right? In terms of being laid off, or suddenly going, where am I going to find money from? But like you said, sometimes we find our wings and we realize we can actually fly on our own, right? And there's freedom and there's excitement in that, because it lets us do other things as well, doesn't it?
Yes, and all the other things that I do, I'm a student tutor for high school kids, so that work is very valuable to me. I love my kids. Right now I'm on break from that because of the summer holiday, of course.
Yeah.
But it's all important in my foundation of what I do for the world. And so I thought, oh my goodness, I'm surviving. Somehow I'm making it work. And no, I'm not a gajillionaire. No. However, but I'm functioning where I didn't think I could ever. There was like no way before this that I could go freelance and
So you found
actually.
strength. You found strength in yourself, right? And freedom and strength and abilities you didn't realize you had to survive. And not only survive, start building a business or a life for yourself and work that you actually enjoy and empowers others, and you kind of thriving on it, right?
Yes. And so, yeah, that leads to the question of, so emotionally, well, this year is when I realized that the tax ramifications of the sole proprietor, as we call it in the States, is,
I think sole trader here, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's actually the highest tax bracket of any. I did not realize this. I found out the really, really hard way.
Yes.
And so I thought, okay, hey, you know what? Like, I'm going to put it behind me, and then I'm going to reach out. And I found a couple CPA tax people who are guiding me to, and it's interesting because it was once I was finally ready, I must do something different now. There was mention in the past, and then I did want to mention, this was mentioned in the past to me. And this is where I encourage everyone to listen to what our guides or our universe or God, whatever it is, are being put in front of us. And if not, and I'm not to say, I don't like to say, well, if I had done it in the past, but if I had actually listened to it and looked at this a year or two ago, maybe I wasn't emotionally ready for it. But it was putting the seeds in my head that a different structure is available. And this year, where I actually found people to help me, and I 100% accepted the help. I said, whatever it takes, let's do this. And it's so much simpler than I had thought, to be honest. I had put it way high that it was not possible to be a corporation with just me. But lo and behold, here we are, and I'm just waiting for a couple more months for it to be official, finalized, where I can be an employee for myself.
And emotionally, and I think you're right, but let's not blame ourselves for what we don't know. Especially if you come into business and you're building yourself, there's going to be so many areas where you suddenly need to have knowledge, and we just don't. Most of us don't have knowledge across the board, right? We're strong in this area, strong in that area, weak in that area, so in that area. And what I've found in business is that, because working on my own, is until we can hire people in, is you gotta kind of, even so when you hire people in, you gotta know the basics of everything in business. There, it's not enough just to be a specialist in one area. You gotta know about business structures, you gotta know about taxes, you gotta know about implementation of how to automate certain things, how you're going to do different things, how you're going to be able to hire people in, and all these things. But what I do love, and you're referring to this a little bit, is whilst it's hard, it actually helps us build our resilience. It helps us build our belief in ourselves. It actually, if you come from a low self-esteem, there's nothing like starting a business to get over that and find your true essence and become really strong in who you are. And I love that you kind of looked at it going, okay, you offer me a job back, and that's wonderful. But you said, no, I want to be me, and I want to do what I want to do, and I want to be independent, right? And have freedom, even though freedom is not always what it looks like in business, right?
But at least it's the business that I am. It is me. It is all
It's
me.
you.
What makes me happy. And I was telling my daughter this weekend, we were talking about how I work a lot. I work a lot of hours. I work every day.
Yeah.
And at the same time, and I know you all do too. I know you do, because I see you on social media posting and polling and emailing, all these things. So I know that you're all out there doing things that you love, and that is it. I said to my daughter, listen, this is work, but I love it. Yeah. And I want to be a really excellent provider. And so of course I'm going to do what it takes. But the thing that I was finding is that also it's forcing me to honor the ebb and the flow. Guess what? Jim Rohn always talks about, well, in the past, Jim Rohn talked about doing work on work time and doing play on play time, and making sure we honor that separation, not just financials, but also our time. And I'm learning hard these truths that, yes, if this is survival, this is it's all my baby, not baby, but you know what I'm saying? It's our thing, and we're nurturing the thing that needs to grow, and it will grow. And I also want to mention too, I meant the whole law of increase. You know, there's that whole book, is Science of Getting Rich, the law of increase, how everything naturally evolves. It's just like nature. It's a natural thing. And this weekend, I realized that we get to these plateaus and we start thinking that we're not doing well enough, or that we're not growing. And we forget that just like our muscles, we plateau because we need to rest. We need to wait. And then we increase again. It always,
Yep.
I know Tommy out there, he probably would agree, you know, being a trainer, we have to allow that time of you're growing still during that plateau.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said for this idea of pausing sometimes and not thinking it's the end, even if it doesn't look exactly as we thought it was going to be, even if we don't think it's exactly where we thought we needed to be financially or in reputation or in how many clients. I just want to say hello to Musi as well. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We appreciate you. It's that we've got to kind of go step back and going, hold on, how far have I come? Instead of looking at how far I haven't reached yet, I haven't reached this yet, because it's good to have aspirations and we're going to keep working towards them. But if we get so focused on, I haven't achieved that, versus what you're saying, the increase, you know, the law of, what did you call it? Law of increase, or the law of, what did you call it? Yeah.
Yeah, the law of increase. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, so instead of looking at where we haven't reached, look at how far you have come, right? How you have increased over time. And I recognize some businesses are not based on people having a passion or a skill or something that is important for them to express in terms of becoming their true self in life. Some people just want money. I understand that. And some businesses are literally built on that and they do well, and that's fine too. But for you and me and other people out there who are very much looking to become your best version in life, both in life and business, there's something so empowering around going, hold on, I can do this myself. It's not easy, but I am showing myself I have the strength to become my true self. I have the strength to go through adversity and still come out on the other side, because I can see that every time I'm learning, I'm growing and I'm increasing. And sometimes that means that things don't look right and you're plateauing, like you said, and you're resting. Don't give up at that moment. It's just before the next growth spur, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Well, and two, I wanted to mention, you had mentioned the going back as an employee for a while situation.
Yeah.
I wholly support that. Absolutely. It is a really great place to be. I loved being an employee when I was, because there are definitely advantages to it. And there's an extreme value in that. You don't have to worry about the fate of the company. Although, I mean, obviously you want it to keep prospering, but it's not like you're holding the whole thing in your own basket. So I did want to honor that, though, if people were at all feeling like they were not yet out on their own yet, because I was literally thrust into it. You know, listen, you've been asking for this for so long. Guess what? Here it is. You're on. Here you go. And I feel definitely so much different about my own self. I feel like I walk taller. I feel like I did this. I'm creating this. I'm still creating. I'm really looking forward to how universe and the God and my guides, and I'm looking forward to how this evolves. I'm still evolving in a really big way.
Yeah. And so are we all, if we're open to it.
Yes, true. And people like you, by the way, people like you, I have a couple of you in my life who help me so much, even like when you don't realize it, but you'll say one sentence to me, excuse me, and I'll take it away and I'll go, oh my gosh, yes, that exactly makes total sense. And then I take what, like you've used your intuition by offering some guidance for me. And it's like, oh yes, that makes total sense. I'm going to take that, because if that's what people want, that's what I want to do. I want to serve. I want to be what I'm here for. And I know for, and the things that you post as well for my business or other people's businesses, I love seeing where you're going. I love seeing how you're continuing to mentor and coach yourself.
Yeah. And you know what? I think there has to be an open-mindedness, especially depending on you. Everyone has a different journey. Some people just boom, start a business, boom, boom, boom. It's all great. But we're all on different journeys, so we can't compare each other ourselves. We can't compare ourselves to others. Musi says, love it. Jackie, keep evolving and keep shining. Leanne is here. Good evening. Good evening to you as well. We got Kenneth here. Savor the flavor of the awesomeness. Yes, bless you. I think there's, depending on, there's no right thing for every single person. Everyone is on their own journey, I think, in business and in life. And for me, like you, it's about really empowering myself and also empowering others. You want to be a service. I want to be a service to others. And I find great satisfaction in that. And sometimes I think, oh, this is what it's going to look like, boom, boom, boom. But then something happens in the economy, or something else in the world happens. We never know what happens. AI is changing a lot of things as well for everyone. And what I've learned is adaptability and open-mindedness. So yes, I have what I aspire to, but being open-minded and being adaptable to what's showing up versus what I think it must look like has been a big game changer for me. So definitely keep going the way I see it growing and where I want to go to, but be open to other inspiration coming in from people or actual situations happening. Be open to new opportunities that you didn't quite see coming. And I'll give you an example. So I'm still very loving working with founders and startups, and I have so much passion for that. But then, like you, I'm like, I need some stability in those uncertain times that we can all feel, because, it can't be like this. And cash flow is the biggest killer of business at any stage. And I thought, well, it turns out that I'm a corporation as well, but it turns out I can still have a job as well. So I actually have a part-time casual employment job where I'm an employee. So I'm allowed to do both in Australia. I don't know what it's like in America. So I now have I teach at the university, once a week, and they pay me as a casual employee. And that's kind of safety and security, and they pay tax for me and stuff. So I'm feeling like that's all good. But then I have my own business where I make money through my corporation. And then lo and behold, it turns out that corporate training, there's a lot of money in corporate training. And it turns out I have the abilities to do workshops quite easily anyway from my background. And I have the teaching experience, and they pay me through my company. And it was not an area I was looking to go into, but it's really matching everything else I did. And I didn't see it coming, and suddenly it was there. So I also want us to be open to opportunities and let other people or situation or whatever comes into our lives guide us a little bit, and try it out if it feels right. Like, feel in here, does it feel good?
Wow, I love that. For sure. I probably could be an employee somewhere also if I'm employed to myself.
Yeah, just look at what's options. Like, be open to the options, right?
I don't know if I'd have the time right now, but
no.
But for sure. But one big thing that I have learned in the past probably 2 months was, the whole phrase, minding your own business. I literally had to really withdraw from a lot of networking, a lot of social media. I was following a lot of people. I still follow everyone, the same. It's just that I really had to, and this is just because it's one of my personality traits. I love to support people. I love that. And at the same time, I realized I was neglecting my own self and my own business by not paying
Social
attention.
media can become a full-time job if you're not careful, where you're just supporting others, but it's not helping your business. So unless you got people you can hire in to do that for you, we got to be really careful how much time we spend on that versus working in and on our business, right?
Yeah, 100%. And so I found that as I was creating social media for my one client, also with the graphics, I realized that I still felt I wanted to support them and I wanted to do the right thing for them. And I was realizing I was not doom scrolling with that, unless it's intentional to find out what competitors are doing, by the way. But I now thought, oh my gosh, this is just last week. I need to do this for myself. I need to schedule the posts, and then I do research, and then I stop. Like, this is realized for myself. I mean, we all have different, like you said, we're all different. But in order for me to grow as a business, I really needed to stop looking outside of myself.
Yeah.
And yes, these are words we all say, and I hear it. And until I actually was able to just, sometimes I actually added one more meditation session per day. And that really has helped me when I'm kind of going like this, I don't know what to do with myself. That's what a perfect opportunity to just simply meditate again. And I'm not doom scrolling. I'm not, doing the calls that are not necessary, socializing.
Yeah. So I love that. And unfortunately, we're going to have to finish up now, but I love that. And what I'm hearing is it's really about sometimes we can give so much to others in business as well that we actually neglect ourselves and our own mindset and our own health and well-being. And we also forget to actually take care of our own business first. And it's kind of like that back to the airlines where you got to put your own mask on first. You cannot fill someone else's cup unless you fill yours first, right?
Definitely.
And that's such a big learning. Unfortunately, you have to finish now. I could talk to you forever. You know that. So thank you for everyone coming here. Before we finish up, can you just please, again, reiterate where people can find you, talk about, et cetera, in terms of finding your book, which you're going to put a link in, I believe, afterwards, right?
Yes. As soon as we jump off, I will put the link to my book on Amazon. But Earth Mama Living is where I house all my offers, all my
we've got that rolling. We've got that scrolling right here, so you can see that.
Perfect.
Wonderful. Yes, so everyone, do check out Jackie's website at earthmamaliving.com. And thank you, Christopher, for showing up as well. We appreciate you. And thank you, Musi, for being here. We appreciate you and everyone else who's here. So do check out all of Jackie's stuff. I've already been using all her drawings, and I love, like, that's my meditation, coloring and drawing. And I love your artistic stuff that I love coloring as well. So I appreciate everything you do and how much you help me as well. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for everyone who's here today. I appreciate you very